Hi, my name is Rick Sanchez. I'm with a company called Tractor Tip Equipment, and what we have for sale here today is a John Deere 450J. If you buy this tractor from me or any of the others that I have for sale, you can pan around there, bro. We don't have too much for sale these days, but we got enough to say grace over, I guess. So point is if you buy this machine from me or any of the others that I have for sale, we got some more in the shop there. You're gonna be dealing with my right-hand man, Pro Provencio. He's the guy running the camera. So what we're gonna do in these videos, we got two of these dozers, and we're gonna do them individually, and we're gonna talk about the mechanics of each individual machine in the first clip, the operating specs in the second, and then we'll run them in turn in the third clip. So price on a new machine like this these days is I don't know, bumping 85 to 100,000, maybe even more than that. The hours on this tractor are $3,472 hours. As far as manufacturers go, John Deere is ubiquitous out there. They're probably the #2 supplier of bulldozers in the world. Probably the #3 supplier of heavy construction mining equipment in the world. Definitely #1 in ag. This tractor weighs 17,562 pounds. The width over the tracks is, or the widest point is actually that blade right there, which is 8 foot 1 inch. Even if you get it at a full tilt, it's pretty close to 8 foot 1 inch. The highest point is the top of that cab at 9 feet. Actually, that's 9.5 feet with that ROPS, or that sweep on it. The transportation length from the end of that ripper to the front of this blade is about 15.5 feet. Comparable machines are like a Cat D. This tractor is a little bit bigger than a Cat D3, maybe smaller than maybe a D4. Maybe a K650. Maybe a D31 Komatsu, a little bit bigger than the D31. This tractor was actually a dwarf machine, kind of a dwarf machine. What a dwarf machine is, it's a dealer-owned rental fleet machine. So John Deere was working in conjunction with a rental company that was renting these tractors out, and so they were doing the maintenance and everything. So these machines were actually over-serviced. If this tractor came in and it was within 40 hours of its next service, they went ahead and serviced the tractor, so it's been well maintained. Because the average rent on these machines was like 2 weeks long, so they were over-serviced. So that's pretty much the history of this unit goes, and it is an original owner Dallas, Texas machine. It's not a Dallas, Texas machine. It's actually further west, around the Abilene area. The reason I say that is that we're far enough south and we're 300 miles from the ocean, so the only salt we see is the salt on our kitchen tables. This machine is in no way, shape, or form rust pervasive. You'll see where the paint's flicked off and the rainwater's gotten to it, but it in no way, shape, or form is rust pervasive. Just about every machine we purchase comes from one of about 30 different large contractors or municipalities that we deal with here in the Metroplex. This particular dozer, like I say, comes from a kind of like an arm of the dealer here in not in Dallas, but further west of us. we've been happy with all the machines we've purchased from them, and it should be said that before I purchase any machine, I have 2 mechanics that go out and inspect it. And if they say everything's okay on it, then I send Pro Provencio out to go out and inspect it. And if he says everything's okay on it, then I personally go out and inspect it if the money's right. So, as far as options go, this tractor's got a keyed battery disconnect. It's got a 6-way blade here. It's got a sweep, what they call sweeps or brush guards. It's got a ripper. It's got sealed and lubricated tracks. You say, what's the point of sealed and lubricated tracks? Well, those are like bathed in oil, so they last a lot longer and the machine is able to work a lot more efficiently. I think that's it. What else am I forgetting, Pro, as far as options?
I think you got it covered.
It's got a rear guard there for backing into things. The engine on this tractor is a, this is a 4-cylinder 4045J John Deere engine. See over here on the other side, it's got a turbocharger. That's actually an altitude compensating turbocharger. So if you're working in like close to sea level or in the uppermost altitudes of Colorado, it actually adjusts for the altitude. This unit has got a 47-gallon tank, which will give you 12 to as many as 16 hours of operation, depending on your application. All the fluid levels on this tractor are where they should be. This machine is mechanically sound. There's no leaks on it. Everything works. Transmission runs through all the gears without hesitation, no problem. It is a hydrostatic transmission. Top speed is 5 miles an hour in forward and 5 miles in reverse. You can see these sprockets here. This undercarriage is probably about, you got a lot more room to push this idler out, so I'd say this undercarriage is maybe about 65–70%. As far as things wrong with this tractor, I can't think of anything that's wrong with this machine. Can you, Pro?
No, runs great, starts easy.
Yeah, it's a good running dozer. Oh, another option I forgot is that you've got this adapter here for like a root rake or for different attachments. So the hydraulics are strong. There's no cracks or welds anywhere in the work equipment. That whole assembly in there, all those pins and those bushings are relatively tight. There's no problem. See, this has got a ball and joint for your blade. You say, well, what good is that? Well, most tractors have got just a pin. There's a pin that goes through here, a pin, and what happens is that pin kind of wallers out. Well, with that ball and joint, you can keep this blade tight. It's a lot easier to keep that blade tight. There's no deflection or any kind of problem in this blade. That cutting edge right there is probably about 65% on one side, and it's 100% on the other side. It's never been turned. The width of the shoes on this tractor are 16 inches. This is a regular track dozer. It is not a wide track. The PSI rating on this regular track dozer is about 7 PSI, somewhere around there. I'm sorry, about 4.3 PSI. The amount of track on the ground is 7 foot 3 inches. As far as this blade here, this blade height is it's actually 3 foot 1 inch. It's got a different blade on it. It's a higher capacity blade than what comes on the standard dozers. The standard dozer's got a 2 foot 7 blade. This has got a 3 foot 1. It's 8 foot 1 inches wide, and the blade will tilt in either direction 22 degrees. It's got a cutting depth of 20 and a half inches. These rippers right here, it's what I call a 3-shank, kind of a multi-variable ripper. This has got a shank and a tooth of about 1 foot 4 inches. And that's pretty much it. What else you think, bro?
We got it covered.
I think we're gonna run it in the next clip. I forgot to say the serial number of this machine. It's 1T0450JXL GD29363. I'm gonna leave that last digit blank. So this is the inside of the cab here. You got a little bitty rip right there, should be noted. It's a pretty clean machine altogether. This pro socket right there. He's putting the panel back on. This is what it looks like when you start it up. This is your light switch here. Clear, Pro?
Go ahead.